Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are doing a Kog'Maw game and Kog'Maw is going to jungle for us. So apparently the first time he played Kog'Maw, according to his message that came with it, it's going to be an AP Kog'Maw. APs in the jungle are not very common. Normally we see a lot of, tanky dudes as well as a lot of AD dudes. But yeah, we have some AP junglers, I'm sure, but we are going to see what Kog'Maw makes out of it. And Kog'Maw can of course be made in AP and AD. It doesn't really matter. I think you're normally better off with AD if you're going for a carry role. If you're going mid and try to burst down champions, then yeah, obviously AP is the better choice. AP makes that you are a little bit more fragile though, because you don't really have lifesteal. You can build spell vamp, but that really doesn't work on him. So basically, yeah, normally we see AD Kog'Maw, but yeah, we have seen AP Kog'Maw in a lot of the, at least higher ELO matches, because it is quite good. It is quite good, especially in mid lane if you have a decent jungler. And by the way, we are here with a Fability, who is just duo queuing. And yeah, we're going to help a little bit with the wolves, because wolves are of course quite a bit of trouble for someone like Kog'Maw. And yeah, it took them a long time to do this. Hopefully the blue buff will do a little bit better. Blue buff immediately going on to Kog'Maw. And this is going to be painful! Oh my god. At least he did get it, but that was very painful. Yeah, it went on him almost immediately. Nidalee ran out a little bit too early to make that work. Holy crap. Yeah, no, well, he did survive, so that's the most important thing, of course. But yeah, we could see it coming that it was going to be pretty hard to start this off. So meantime, we're going to follow the other lanes a little bit. Not a whole lot going on. Guess bottom lane will not be very interesting for now, because Draven versus Draven, yeah. And then of course two very disruptive supports, so it might actually become the first blood here. But we see that the jungler is coming in, and this is going to be first blood. Oh, he missed his Q because of a great... Oh, it might still be first blood. There you go. And oh, come on, minions, go! Oh, so close, so close. He's not out yet. Oh, Blitzcrank, come on, Blitzcrank, make it work. Double pop-up. Oh yeah, we are going to try to get this. Flash goes off and they are both safe. Well, everyone is safe basically. But yeah, that was quite an adventure in the mid lane. In the meantime, we get a kill, but I'm not going to rewind for that, because early game kills with Lux are pretty much all the same. It is just a burst of every skill that she has, and then, well, you just die. Especially without the ultimate, there's not a whole lot you can, you have to know about that. So a little bit of a gank attempt here, but there was a ward out, so Elise got out in time. She's called Elise, right? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. I haven't had a game from her in quite a while. And yes, that is kind of a hint that I would like to have a game like with her. Yeah, kind of the mid laners and bottom laners, we've seen all of those. It's mainly the junglers and the top laners that I'm interested in for the moment. That doesn't mean that if you have a good game with someone else that it's not interesting, but yeah, well, you can kind of figure it out. As long as I haven't done a champion in, let's say, the last month or so, it is interesting to have. And since I do about 30 champions per month, that means that you have a selection of about 70 to choose from. Yeah, I get a lot of emails or rather messages on what champions I would like to do and things like that. But wow, we are going pretty low here. Once again, low. Oh no, no, no! It reset right at the last moment. So yeah, he has to recall. That is a shame. Yeah, he already told me that he didn't have the correct runes, which also kind of explains why he's having so much trouble. He has no armor in his runes. And that, of course, sucks a little bit. And this guy's going to die. Bye-bye. Yeah, taking way too much minion damage. And just an easy ignite into kill. So yeah, the bottom lane definitely a kill-heavy lane for now. It's kind of surprising, to be honest. I did not expect that. We are going to go in the jungle position. I'm just setting up everyone where they should go. And there you go. Now you can compare them a little bit. 5 minions only on Draven. Oh, that is very, very painful. 5 to 14. So even a 14 is pretty... Yeah, pretty sad. Because, well, you could have had 40 minions by now. Probably more, because I don't think that Lux picked up everything. Well, it's very unlikely that she picked up everything. And... Did she not see that Alistar coming, or what? Oh, it doesn't even matter. Huh. It doesn't even matter. We're just going to grab some damage and run back out. Oh, Blitzcrank in a little bit of trouble here. But we are going to get the kills. Nicely done. Very nicely done, in fact. And is this going to continue? Because there are still 2 very low health champions here. And we might actually be able to do this. Wow, yes. Nice, 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 nice. Anyhow, we are going to go back to base here. Yeah, that's what I was assuming. And in the meantime, we're obviously going to watch this lane because, well, why not? It's the only lane where people are actually fighting. Or have the potential to fight, because in the mid lane they're probably not even fighting at the moment. They're just too far away from each other. Doesn't even matter. So we have an ultimate here on Elise. Which is of course the time when it becomes dangerous. It's not super dangerous. But, oh, yeah, she doesn't have an ultimate. I was wondering about that, but she doesn't have an ultimate. But yeah, normally the level 6, so once people get to level 6, that is when it becomes interesting to watch the lanes. But obviously that is not the case here. It is, yeah, Elisa doesn't have an ultimate per se, and yeah, you kind of have that from the beginning. So that's nice. Anyhow, yeah, this guy is going to die, and oh, come on. Are they not even going to pick up this kill? Oh, they are. Just random pick up then. Yeah, the Draven does indeed die. Fizz missing everything, but still getting the kill because he still had an Ignite. And Ignite is, of course, sometimes enough to actually land the kill, and most of the time, however, it is not. So we are going to go into the bottom lane to see this tower fall, because Blitzcrank shouldn't be able to defend this. And, well, the Draven can just right-click the tower and be done with it. But no, he wants to get all kinds of fancy on this. And, of course, yeah, he loses a kill because of that. Of course, Draven still gets killed. But, yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Or, sorry, Blitzcrank still gets killed. But that's the way it goes. And, yeah, well, the Kog'Maw just cleaning up here, getting another kill, and actually having a pretty good game, 4-0 with 32 minions. The 32 minions, not a whole lot, but if you, or not very important, I should say, it's also not a whole lot of minions. But if you compare that to a very good jungler like Nocturne, and Nocturne is only 6 minions ahead and has 0 kills, then you're probably doing a decent job in the jungle. Even though he had to recall from blue, he had to recall from red, and all in all, yeah, that is just kind of a, yeah, the way it goes with junglers that can't actually, or champions that can't actually jungle. And oh, we are going to die right here. And he does land the damage on Nocturne there, but there is no follow-up from Lux. So, yeah, unfortunate, but true. And Noodly is going to try to make something out of this, but yeah, everyone is gone. It is just that, yeah, well, this guy is now coming in, and we're going to try to land this. Nope, 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 nope. She obviously didn't see that. She didn't know there was someone there. It's, well, Fizz is still here. Fizz is just going to recall. Probably the best thing to do. Draven, in the meantime, going to push this lane, going to get this tower, and maybe even get the next tower. But that depends on how far he's willing to push, and whether or not someone's going to stop him. If nobody's coming to stop him and he has balls of steel, then he can actually take out the second tower as well, because the next minion wave is coming in. It's going to group up with this one, but two guys showing up to stop him, and yeah, they should be able to start this push now. Yep, 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 yep. There you go. So that being said, we are going to continue with our Kog'Maw, who is building a Tear of the Goddess, which is, I guess, an okay pickup for Kog'Maw. Yeah, you should really try to just ult that. And once again, we see a ward over here. It's in the incorrect spot. You need to place it in the entrance, otherwise you're not going to see the ward that is in the back. And that's the second time we see this. I'm still looking for the first time, the first game where that happened. I don't actually remember what we were, which game it was, but I would like to know. So if you know which game that was, where it was at Baron, someone placed a pink ward over here, and then the enemies dropped the pink ward over the side, and the two pink wards couldn't see each other, which is kind of sad. But it was a moment that I wanted to actually keep in my inventory in case I was going to do a video on where to place wards, because it's a moment that happens every now and then, but definitely not a whole lot. And yeah, therefore, if you know which game that was, please send me a message with either the name of the game or the link, and I will be able to to use that in a future video, because obviously I can't remember, and if you saw that game, maybe you can remember. I don't know. If you have better memory than I do. Anyhow, we get a little bit of a fight in the dragon area, and we are going to lose two guys here. Oh no! Yeah, she's still going to die. Yep. There was nothing she could do about that, and that is very unfortunate, but that is the way it is. She can't really, escape from something like this. And obviously the Fizz does quite a bit of damage, assuming that he is going AP. Yeah, well, he doesn't really have anything yet, but he is at least going AP. So Kog'Maw now with the Mattress Razors, the Catalyst, and the Tear of the Goddess. So definitely a whole lot of just mana, and also some HP and some damage and armor. Yeah, well, you know the deal, right? I mean, that is the way it goes with junglers. They normally build up first. Normally they first build up a little bit of health, and then later in the game, when they have some skills, they tend to get damage, because, well, for most of the junglers, it's not really important how much damage they do. What's important is how much they actually, how much disruption they can cause. And yeah, that's exactly how he's building here. So he's building for, for the late game. So kind of not caring about how he's doing currently, so how fast his jungling is and such, because it's not really important. It is, of course, important for some junglers. If you have a good counter jungler, then it's definitely important to have to be fast in your jungling, so to do as much damage as possible to those minions. And yeah, with that, with your fast jungling, you can actually invade the enemy jungle and just kill their camps, or at least the big minions in those. because that is the way it goes. And yeah, junglers like that, like Shyvana, they work in a completely different way than junglers that live on ganking. And that was outside of the bush, so it was still a little bit risky to do that. But at least the Alistar was all alone, so not too worried about that. In the meantime, we have in the bottom lane two guys that are well, caught out of position here, and it is a 3 versus 2 for the enemies. So yeah, this could be a very big problem, and it is going to be a big problem because once again Draven dies. Draven has not been having a good game. He actually came back to 50 to 65 in the minions, which is pretty awesome. And considering that he started off with, well, 5 minions when he should have had, what, like 40? I want to say 40. Yeah, 50 minions when you have 90 as your highest, or no, sorry, 100 as your highest. I didn't see her. But yeah, that it kind of looks a lot better. And of course, well, the Elise is a very good jungler as well, but she is one of those junglers that can gank and can do a lot of damage because of those spiders. Spiders are very useful. They allow you to pick up minions as well as gank with the rest of your skills. And wow, nice damage there. And Kog'Maw is in a little bit of trouble. They don't know that he's there. That's why he kind of survived that. But if the enemies knew that he was there, finally this is the right position. So finally they do pick up that they may have misplaced that first pink ward, because they don't watch enough of my videos. Anyhow, yeah, it's kind of common to see that, the wrong placement of the pink wards. But yeah, you saw here what the result can be. Last time the results were pretty disastrous as well, but yeah, since both teams had pink ward on there, it was it's kind of, yeah, normal that one of the two picks it up while the other guy thinks that, well, enemy has no vision over it. But anyhow, yeah, we're just going to continue on. There's not a whole lot happening. It's pretty much just still farming. Everyone is still farming. Look at the farm on Kog'Maw. He's actually at 80 minions, only 20 behind on the maximum, which is pretty crazy considering that he's a jungler. And he does have 6 kills, so only 1 death. Pretty impressive, pretty impressive. Of course, Kog'Maw does a lot of damage, so that kind of makes it work. And he's going for Sheen now. Sheen going to turn into Lichbane, of course. Sheen, yeah, works well with killing turrets, and it works well with, well, with jungling as well. It gives him a lot more, well, of that burst. And especially because he has that ultimate that he can just spam and spam and spam. So combining that with the W, that gives you a huge range boost. Yeah, well, or sorry, this is damage. Oh yeah, it is 130 range. Duh. Yeah, and it gives you percentage damage, of course, which is awesome. And we're going to grab a 7th kill. Yeah, the ultimate is great, especially at level 3. It is great for sniping off those guys that are trying to run away. And yeah, you can definitely get a whole lot done with it. Because, well, it's such a huge range. I don't actually know the complete range on it, but it is very, very large. In the final, well, the final stage, basically, so level 3. And it seems that this ultimate is going nowhere. Oh, it is going there somewhere. Wow. All the way over there, and actually getting the hit. Not getting the kill, obviously. And Nidalee, yeah, she was in trouble. Getting the assist from all the way across the map was pretty impressive. You have to be a little bit lucky on that, of course. But yeah, I kind of assumed that Nidalee would try to run out of that. Instead, she ran in and gave Nocturne a free kill. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So Dragon is still up, and the enemy team has a ward over here, so they know that yeah, that our team is kind of grouping up in mid, and yeah, they do ping that right now, and let's see if they can actually make something out of this, because well, Fizz is over here. They're going to all group up around Dragon, but nobody has a ward on Dragon itself. We are going to go into this. Fizz is going to get out. Blitzcrank not paying attention, but he is going to grab the kill. Nicely done. And oh, Fizz 2 and 6, not having the game of his life. But yeah, lots of damage going off with that ultimate. The ultimate doesn't do a really crap ton of damage, but because you can spam it so much, it becomes very, very useful. The dragon was actually invisible there for a moment, but it did turn out to be visible. And yeah, with the vision on that, they decided to back off. And look at that. So low! So low! Yeah, you shouldn't really continue on this, but well, they didn't. They're going for the blue buff here, and the blue buff is of course a very nice pickup for someone like Kog'Maw, who has an ultimate that costs more and more damage the more you use it, or more and more mana, sorry, the more you use it. And it's like the Rift Walk from Castillion. That has the same principle behind it. I don't know if it deals... No, this one doesn't deal more damage, that's what I thought, but the Rift Walk does do more damage every time it stacks up. The same with... at least I think on the Rift Walk as well. I'm pretty sure. The Vladimir, the Tides of Blood.